All right. I think that I am live. As you guys, 14 more minutes to hit the phones. Dylan, we ended up going live. Okay. We pushed it a little bit just to let people know that we're coming. But we are officially live. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Ninja Cast. And today we have a really good friend of mine, really near and dear to my heart, too, because a lot of what we do Trevor and his company Carrot.com was a really huge inspiration on how we wanted to build our culture here at REI Sift. Ninja Cast, CarrotCast, he's just a brilliant mind. And I'm super, super excited to have him on to talk a little bit about why and how we can do better with balancing our marketing to have not only the outbound kind of strategies that we teach, like the sensei flow, the bulk marketing flows, and moving that data through. But then how do you add, as he calls evergreen marketing into the situation where you can do SEO and online ads and bring in those leads that basically just come to you, right? And that's what he's like the bread and butter on. And he can give the statistics on how Carrot has literally destroyed and disrupted the marketplace when it comes to being effective at doing that. I'll even talk a little bit about some of my deals. We're doing this quarter alone, I think we have somewhere around 200K from just Carrot, one of which is an organic one. So I'll just throw that in there just to let you know that you should stay and you should listen, but definitely share and like and comment, all that stuff, depending on where you're looking at. And we're going to go ahead and bring on Trevor now. Trevor, dude, thanks for coming on. Appreciate
Tyler,
it.
what's up, dude? I appreciate you inviting me on here, man. It's fun.
Yeah, super excited, man. So as you guys know, like this is like a conversation between me and Trevor and you guys. Like you guys ask questions inside the chat. Trevor will answer them. I'll answer them. And then Trevor's going to kind of go through, and just talk a little bit about. It's kind of like Q&A, but at the same time, he's going to give principles and things that he teaches all the time to drive success in his business. So what I'd love to start off with, though, Trevor, is just like, tell people a little bit about what Carrot is for those that might not know if they're living in a hole somewhere. Tell them a little bit about what Carrot is and like what it's done over the last 5 years for real estate investors.
Dude, yeah, for sure, man. At a really high level, like I'll talk about why we do what we do first, because the why part of it for me drives everything. At a high level, we help real estate investors, now agents too. We focus on what we call the hybrid agent investor. On that side of things, who's both an agent and an investor. And then we focus on, peer investors, your flippers, your wholesalers, land flippers, things like that. We help you guys to attract more of the highest motivated seller leads online. And we can talk about why they're more motivated, how to find them, things like that. But the real why behind the business, man, is I've been trapped in my own business before in previous companies that we made some good money, but we'd look back at the end of the year going, man, this business drained the life out of me. I didn't like the work I was doing after a while. Everything was boom and bust, where I would make a bunch of money at the end of the year, but every month I was stressed, right? Because you'd be wondering where are leads going to come from next month? Because it was all what I call hamster wheel marketing. So we help people build businesses of freedom and impact. And I think unless you can truly get freedom from and with your business and then drive impact, I think we end up building businesses we despise. So we want to help you guys build businesses you enjoy that give you freedom and make a greater impact.
I love it. I love it so much. And the whole hamster wheel like analogy is just so good, because inevitably over time the hamster wheel falls off, right? Like
Yep.
if anyone here has ever had hamsters and you're laying at night and you hear the squeak, 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 and the squeak no longer happens no more, something happened, right? And you can't control sometimes what that is, right? You can try and maintain it, but markets change, black swan events happen like COVID. And things just come into the realm of your business that you just can't control. Legislation on phone numbers change, and having that extra bit of inbound marketing coming in while also having your business and your life in place and your purpose and everything else, like you're saying, a business of impact is so key to know that, like, hey, that stuff comes in, it's fine. My business is fine. I'm going to continue pressing forward because I have the whole ecosystem in place. And that's why, we love, the way that you educate, because it just pairs so well with how we educate the outbound marketing side, because we believe in, making sure the same principles are in there for outbound marketing.
Yep.
And with coupling the two like this, it's just fantastic. So,
dude, and that's the thing. I want to kind of double down on this really quick is the thing that we've been really diving into big time the past 4 or 5 years, and we've been in business since 2013 now. And our clients generate about 60 to 80,000 leads a month. Most of those are motivated house seller leads. And when we talk about marketing, when we talk about winning back your freedom, dude, this was something I didn't realize until I started to make the transition back in 2012, 2013, was I didn't realize that my marketing and the way that I did my marketing was actually the thing that would influence my lifestyle, and it would influence whether my business owned me or I owned it. And I started to look back at the different type of marketing that worked in my previous companies and the marketing for my clients and all of that. And I said, what type of marketing gave me a result from much longer time that gained more consistency in my business and gave me the best clients? And I started looking at that data. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's all kinds of marketing, and outbound marketing is an amazing way to grow your volume. We're going to talk about how to scale up your marketing, because I think inbound and outbound are both required together to scale. You can't scale without outbound or going, national or regional online. You can scale doing that by going to a bunch of markets. But if you're going to stay in one market or several markets, you have to scale from outbound with inbound combined. And so I discovered, I'm like, man, I had no clue that the marketing that I was choosing to do fully dictated my lifestyle. If I was doing marketing and building my business 100% on what I call hamster wheel marketing, where you have to do that marketing over and over again, I'm going to pull up my phone and call 100 people a day. The second you take vacation off is the second your leads go down, then your income goes down. That's that stress cycle I talked about. Or if you're going to drive for dollars, I love driving for dollars. It's awesome. It's a great thing. But unless you have someone else driving for dollars for you, the second you're not driving for dollars is the second your leads go down. So we'll talk about it in this. Direct mail is an amazing source of marketing when you do it the right way. If you're just doing blast ginormous lists versus the way that Tyler teaches you guys to do really targeted marketing through outbound, then you're going to end up collecting a bunch of really low targeted phone calls. You're going to be wondering, why is it taking me 40, 60, 70 leads to get a deal? It's because you're going after unmotivated or less motivated targets, which makes you on the hamster wheel more to do more work to get the same deal. So we're going to show you guys how to do less work to get the deal and find the more motivated people, like Tyler was saying, mixing what REI SIF does with what we do here at Carrot.
To do less 100%. I've been trying to share this on my Facebook page, so let me just
You're good, man.
really quick.
At least you can log into your Facebook page. For some reason on the computer I'm on, I can't figure out how to get logged into it. Like, this computer will not let me log into Facebook. So at least you're on it.
It sounds terrible. It's my phone actually, but yeah, it's good. Yeah. Okay, so Omar said, I'm just going to kind of read some of these off as it goes. It's a matter of speed. The first who reach out to that motivated seller wins. I agree with you there, Omar, but I also disagree. I think that the first to reach out to them when the problem happens is fantastic, and that's why you need a process in it. But what's more important is, in the long term, being the one person that they see everywhere, right? Online, texting them, the follow-up, the whole ecosystem is really key. Because if a problem happens today that resonates with somebody, it doesn't mean that it's fully came to fruition for 90 days, 6 months or whatever. I mean, that's super key. I mean, we have direct mail pieces, that we've sent because our outbound wasn't working from a calling perspective. They went to the URL on our postcard, which went to our website, which then was a retargeting campaign and didn't convert for 7 months. Yep. And I know that that's the sequence of events that happened, because in our activity log and REI SIF, it shows every one of those events. And then it shows from the Zapier integration from Carrot to REI SIF that's when it happened, right? So it's all in there. So I see that more often on our inbound leads, that there was initial touch and then it continued to nurture. So you're right, Omar, but at the same time, it's bigger than that for longevity. To be a company that's sustainable, it's bigger than that. Anyway, so cool. So what do you think is like starting off from the perspective, Trevor, on like, if someone was wanting to get started on online ads, right, and are already doing outbound right now, like what does that like process look like? Like,
Yep. Yeah, dude, the biggest thing for me first, so if you guys are already doing offline marketing, if you're doing radio, TV, direct mail, cold calling, in anything at all, if you're already doing something to generate leads, dude, the biggest thing I always want to have people focus on first is how do I amplify and make that marketing work better? And I'll give you an example. So there's a client of ours, Carter Steph. He's one of the top home buyers in America, biggest home buyer in Oklahoma City. Now he's in multiple different markets as well. Our company's called 1-800-2-SELL-HOMES. So Carter was doing tons of radio, tons of TV, and some direct mail. And they were generating a lot of inbound searches just from their offline marketing. So guys, when you're doing any offline marketing, once again, radio, TV, direct mail, cold calling, all that, people are going to pick up their phone or they're going to pick up their computer and then do a Google search, right? They're going to Google search your company name that was in that advertisement or that direct mail piece, your phone numbers oftentimes that are in there. If you are the advertisement, like some of our clients, they're the personal brand, they'll Google your company or they'll Google your name, whatever's identifiable on that marketing piece, direct mail, radio, TV, anything. Even cold calling, people will literally take that phone number that keeps calling them and they'll Google the phone number and say like, who the heck is this that keeps calling me? Because everyone's suspect today. They're curious in what's going on and wondering if people are legit who are calling them. And so that's the first thing, man, is look at the marketing that we're doing and then ask ourselves, oh, one sec. Not sure why my camera did that. Let me see if I can do something here. That was weird, dude. I got a message on my end that said your camera has been unplugged and I haven't touched it. I'm back.
Uh-oh. You're here.
I'm back. Okay. So that's the first thing, man, is if you're doing offline marketing, look at whatever marketing you're doing and write down what is your marketing identifying about your business. Are there phone numbers? Are you using your company name? Is it your name? And then go to Google and search those phrases up. Okay. If it's a phone number, like a tracking phone number from Callfire, that's one thing that a lot of people miss. And if you're doing any volume of direct mail and you have a phone number on there, let's say it's a Callfire tracking phone number so you can see what direct mail pieces are working, Google search those phone numbers because your prospects oftentimes are going to do those Google searches. And if it's a tracking phone number, what's usually going to show up in Google is probably not your website because most people aren't putting their tracking phone numbers on their website. It's probably going to say like scamcall.com, whocalledme.com. And if people search that, they're going to go, man, is this company a scam? So that's the first thing. Take all those identifiable things and then ask yourself, if I'm investing all this money into my offline marketing and tapping people on the shoulders and seeing if they want to sell, how many of them are going online to research me? And if I don't have a website, how many deals am I losing because of that? And if your average profit per deal, let's just say it's $20,000, how many $20,000 deals are you likely losing every single year? Because when people search you from your offline marketing, they either can't find you or they don't find things that help you stand out as a trusted, credible source. So that's number one. And dude, with Carter, going back to his story, and I'll toss over to you, is he discovered he had a website. It was a pretty website. It's a custom website. People would look at it and think it looked great. By adjusting some of the things on the website, and we can talk about it in this call, he added over $20,000 a month in extra income from the leads he was already getting, from the traffic he was already getting. Like, he didn't add a new traffic source. He didn't start Google AdWords. He didn't start SEO. It was all from his radio, TV, and direct mail, where people were picking up their phones and doing a Google search. And we made his website work better, converted better, built more trust, added $20,000 a month in extra income and closed deals. So that's the first thing that I would start on. Make it your authority hub online to close more of your offline deals.
Dude, it's so crazy that like one of the biggest questions I get when we have users that are asking like, okay, well, I want to start with Carrot, but or like I want to start an online in general, but like, what do I got to do? Like, I can't, like, I set it up. Do I have to start paying for Facebook? Do I have to start doing this? I'm like, no, like my story with when I started using Carrot is one of the big first things I did in my business. Actually, the first thing I did in my business, because I have a background in development, I built my own and was trying to build something. And I spent endless nights, probably about 3 months or so, building this website. And then turned out Carrot already existed, and the time that I spent was ridiculous. And then I got Carrot. And I just went through the steps. When you log into Carrot, when you have it, there's like 5 steps or whatever to do it. And they have a whole new playbook thing, which is super awesome. And I just followed the steps, did backlinks, did this. but I posted on Craigslist, like they said. I did, my Google My Business, and I made a Facebook page and all the things to have to where when people search me, they could find me, right? And one of those leads came in from Craigslist, and I made $30K in my first 2 weeks of having Carrot, which I then reinvested back into my Carrot, right? And I've just done that consistently over time. And now it's at the point, I think we generate something like 20 leads right now or so. I think last week was like 20 leads from Carrot or something like that,
Yep.
And so, but the reason I wanted to mention that is just from the beginning is people don't understand what they want to do because they don't understand how to get the traffic there. But it's very simple.
Yep.
The same way that you would post on your Facebook, tell them, hey, I'm looking to buy a house. Now you have the authority to say, hey, I'm looking to buy houses. Here's my website. Send anybody here that you might know. And quite literally, the example that you just gave, we have a deal, and I was trying to bring it up here on my REI Sift account so I could show people that I'm not just BSing. I find that some people think like in these kind of situations, like, oh, he's just saying that because he's here. And it's not even true. Like if I go to my closed deals right now, we have a deal right now that is the exact scenario you just gave because of the authority. They Google searched and they was looking for somebody to buy their house. It's in Archer, Florida. The address is 1435 Southwest 130th Avenue, Archer, Florida. You look it up. CarrotCast Real Estate owns it. Okay. And what happened is they Google searched to find someone to buy their home. REI, CarrotCast Real Estate showed up, and we had a local number to where they moved to as their location. Okay. And so they're like, oh, hey, like that's a local business. Everybody else had 1-800 numbers, they're like, oh, I don't want to deal with them. I want someone local. They went to our website and they seen that, the reviews and everything that was there. And they ended up, going with us because of that. But that's a $60,000 flip. I didn't have to do anything to sell this person. It came in through Carrot, which ended up in REI Sift, which notified me of a task, right? I seen the task was there. I seen the phone number was there. So I just copied it and texted it from my phone because we don't have an acquisitions person in the company right now. So what happens is my lead manager cases everything, and I'll just make the offer on the things that are easy, or so what I think are good deals. So I texted her, and in the show notes or whatever, we'll put the images of the text conversation. I just said, hey, what's going on? You just submitted your property. I'm interested in it. Can you give me some details? She gave me some details. And I just text her back. I'm like, so what are you looking to get out of the property? She let me know, because I found out there's a mortgage. She said $65,000 was the mortgage was. I said, how much are you looking to put in your pocket after everything's all said and done? She's like, I'd probably like to have around 10K in my pocket. I was like, fantastic. So you're saying if I give you $75,000 in the next 2 weeks, you would be ready to move forward? And she said, let me ask my husband. He said, yeah, fantastic. Right. And we closed that deal in 2 weeks, put 20K into it, and it's listed right now for $169,900. And so it literally the easiest sales I've ever had. And I could go on with examples of like the easiest, transactions came from those organic by just having me being available. Another scenario, and then we'll move on because I just think what you just said is so easy. You spend whatever Carrot costs a month, when someone asks a little bit, we'll cover that then. Whatever Carrot costs a month and whatever plan you're on, and then simply having a Facebook page and a Google stuff. We just have a deal. Actually, it's a deal I'm just helping on. My sister Hunter has a deal down in Tampa, and it's a friend referred it to her, whatever. It's a 30K spread on it. And he said, hey, well, I don't know what company you guys are because this is a hedge fund. I mean, they buy deals, right? And so it's a hedge fund, and they seen Hunter Austin on the contract, and they're like, well, are you really a real company? Can you actually execute this? And it was also listed by a realtor, so there's another little complications there. So I called him. I said, my website's FloridaCashRealEstate.com. You'll see the referrals. You can go to my, and boom, that's my authority. They see I close deals. They see who I am. They see I'm Carrot, right? And so the authority aspect of it works not only with your buyers or your sellers, but also your buyers. And I've used it all the time. So just because some people are in here that I know and I see them commenting, it's that simple. So, so then what would you say, because this is the next thing I know people are saying, Trevor, okay, cool. I can get a Carrot website. I can get my Google, my business. I can get Facebook. I get all that, but I don't know, what else do I do? Do I have to what's next after that? Like, how much money do I really need to put into this engine for that's actually efficient? Because I know everyone. biggest thing is it's a long-term game, right? Or like, how does it break down?
Yeah, dude, I'll kind of walk through, like, if I were to go into a new market like we did in Louisville earlier this year. Okay. So we went into market of Louisville. We pulled our first deal out in 3 weeks, and we've done case studies on this. We've done videos on this. We're going to keep on doing it more. Now, can I say people are going to pull out their first deal in 3 weeks every time? No, right? That was with an amazing, negotiator of Bo Hollis, who's my partner there in that market. He closes like no other, man. Like, he's one of the best closers, and he's an awesome dude. He does over 20 deals a month. So he was able to work it into his machine. So here's what I would do every single time. If I'm going to go into a new market, how to get my first deal out in 60 days, okay, using Carrot and using the internet. So the first thing is, I'm going to launch a website. We call them authority hubs here at Carrot, because if you just have a website, now anyone can get a website. You can get a website at Wix, at Weebly, at Squarespace. You can go launch a WordPress website yourself. A website is not enough these days. Okay, just having a website that has a form and says you buy houses, it's not enough. We need to stand out as far as with our credibility. We need to have content on there, like you were saying, that you can point people towards to show that you're a real person. And if you haven't done any deals, we can even show you guys later in this call how to build credibility and trust, even if you haven't done any deals yet, because that's always an objection that people have. Well, shoot, there's no way I can compete against these people if they're doing 20 deals a month and I haven't started. Well, I'll show you guys how to compete against those people today too. So launch a website, get some credibility up there. We can show you some examples of it on today's call. It's really, really simple. And then I would start some sort of a paid ad campaign personally. Or if you're doing offline marketing like direct mail, I would just literally make it so at the start, it's making my direct mail work better. That's it. That's how I would start. Okay. So launch that puppy. If we're gonna talk online marketing now, so how to pull out a deal online marketing, not assuming that there's direct mail coming in, I'm gonna go launch a Google Ads campaign first. And so this is what happened in the market of Louisville when we launched it there. It's happened in so many other markets when we've done it as well, or helped clients do it. Is we launch an AdWords campaign. The budget that I set, Tyler, this is the most important part at the start, is setting a realistic budget. Okay, one of the biggest things I see that investors do and agents do is they look at their marketing budget from an emotional standpoint. They say, how much money do I have in my pocket that I want to quote unquote risk? And they set their marketing budget based off of emotion, not math. And so we always say, let's make sure, guys, we're following math, not emotion. And the really simple calculation I want you guys to do right now to look at your marketing, and this applies to offline marketing too, not just online, is write down what's your average profit per deal. Okay, we're just going to go with the number that's $20,000 for kind of easy math. So if your average profit per deal is $20,000, next what I'm going to ask you is, well, cool, how many leads does it take you to get one of those deals? Okay, and this is where it gets interesting, because if you do different types of marketing, each one of those types of marketing is going to require a different amount of leads to get a deal because of the motivation in those types of prospects. Radio and TV tends to be about 1 in 50 to 1 in 60 leads into a deal. So you're probably going to have to get 40, 50, 60 phone calls from that radio and TV ad before a deal is closed oftentimes. Now, your market might be different. Your method might be different, but that's what we see on average. Direct mail done the traditional way is probably going to be 1 in 30 to 1 in 40 leads into a deal. Now, the way that Tyler teaches the REI SIF, their ratio is probably better than that because they're actually diving into it in a more targeted way. If you're going to do Facebook ads for sellers, we see Facebook ads for sellers tends to be 1 in 15 to 1 in 30 leads turns into a deal. Okay. So, and then Google ads tends to be 1 in 10 to 1 in 15 leads turns into a deal. And then Google organic search, I don't know what's going on with my darn camera. Google organic search tends to be then about 1 in 5 to 1 in 15 leads, it turns into a deal. Okay. So I want you guys to write those down, because when you look at your marketing methods, you're going to require a different amount of leads to close a deal depending on how targeted and how motivated the prospects are in that channel. SEO and Google ads tend to be the most motivated, most targeted. So you're going to have your $20,000 profit per deal. Let's say it takes you 10 leads to turn into a deal using this online method. Okay. Then I'm going to ask you, well, how much money would you be willing to trade in marketing dollars to get that $20,000? I usually use a 25% number to start. You know, when I'm really cranking up a campaign, I usually see about a 10 to 1 return, an 8 to 1 return. So if I'm going to put in $1,000, or let's say my cost of a deal is $3,000, I'm going to want to usually get between $20,000 and $30,000 out of that $3,000. That's what we'll usually see. Okay. So you got a $20,000 profit deal. It takes me 10 leads to get into a deal. I'm going to say I'm going to put up to $5,000 to get that $20,000 deal, which is 25%. Now I take that 10 leads, divide it by the $5,000, and I say, well, how much can I pay for every lead then? And in that example, it's about $500 per lead. And you guys might look at that and go, dude, I would never pay $500 a lead, right? Why the heck would I pay $500 a lead when my buddy over here on this Facebook group is saying he's paying $35 a lead on Facebook? Well, you would pay $500 a lead for those leads because the math says you can. Because the math says if you paid up to $500 a lead, which you shouldn't have to pay anywhere near that, you might be paying $100 a lead. You might be paying $120 a lead, $220 a lead on Google Ads. But the math says you can spend up to 500. If you close 1 in every 10 into a deal that nets you $20,000, the math shows you can win. And I'll finish it with this, Tyler. So many people, you get caught up in that emotional budget and they say, I'm gonna put $1,000 into this and see if it works. But what if your math says that you should have put up to $5,000 into it before you ever stop? What if the market shows that the average cost per deal is $3,000 and you stopped at $1,000 or $1,500? We've seen so many clients who were ready to stop their ad campaign at $2,000 spent in. They're like, man, I've got 8 leads, but I haven't got a deal yet. I'm getting nervous. Guys, it literally might be the 12th lead that is your deal that nets you $30,000. And then the math rewrites itself. It's correct all of a sudden. So that's the first thing I would do, dude. I would launch a Google Ads campaign. People say it's expensive. It's not expensive. We're pulling predictably 10 to 1 returns out in Louisville right now. And tons of other clients are doing the same thing, tons of different markets. You have to follow math, not emotion with your budget though. Next, what I would do is I would then invest into the SEO over the long term, because that's going to take you 6, 8, 10, 12 months to get ranked really high in Google to get the consistency. So start in the short term in that first 90 days, getting a paid ad campaign going using math, not emotion. Once you get that first deal done, put almost all of it back into your marketing budget. Don't go blow it on a fancy car or something like that. Go put almost all of it back into your marketing budget and then keep scaling things up. Paid and then organic.
I love that. So real quick on that, I want to touch on a couple of things that you just mentioned, but what I want to ask you first, because you said something that was really big, the whole emotional word. As a really successful businessman in yourself, right? And learning to scale a company like what you have and where you guys are going, and a real estate investor, right? Commercial properties and Airbnbs and everything else.
Yep.
Would you say, for those that are sitting here right now and are a much newer investor, you know, that too many of your clients now, and I know this is true with our clients, they think too small of themselves as a business owner, like in a sense that, well, I haven't even closed the deal yet, so my mind is in that state rather than being in the state of a CEO who has $1 million business already, that thinks like you're just saying. They think, okay, how much money is it taking to get a client and how soon can I get that money back? It's almost like too many newer investors or even seasoned investors, they can't get that mindset to where it's focused on being the CEO that they need. Like, it's like, it's they say that you, in order to be the person that you want to be, you have to start thinking like that person to do that transformation. Otherwise you'll continue staying where you're at. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to get at is, you know, if you're afraid to spend money right now, maybe you just don't have it. That's why you default back and just say, okay, well, let me push organic traffic into it. Google My Business, which, you know, I'll put the link in the chat now. Literally, if you don't have one of these right now, make one. It's that simple, right? And have that URL there and do all those free organic things that they say, which they is step by step in the onboarding of Carrot, by the way. It's all in there, right? They even have a link. I haven't opened it up in a while, but I think it's like the top 100 places to get citations or backlinks from. When we first started, that was the thing we did, because I didn't have a budget. I was 60 grand in debt when I started, right? So what we did is we went and we found that article through the support chat, said, yeah, here's the top 100 citation locations. I had my VA. I said, here's my email, tyler@florida-real-estate.com. Here's the password I want you to use. I want you to go to all 100 of these websites and submit us on it. That's
Yep.
Yellow Books, White Pages, all of those places, and put my URL in there because that all feeds together. The YouTube channels, all that stuff. So if you don't have a budget, right, do that stuff, be consistent with it. And then what he said, like we spend $1,500 a month on Facebook. Like that's what we've always done. That includes management. And we generate from that. If I were to go on my leads on Carrot right now and look through, actually I have a one from today. I didn't even see this lead yet. It's a Google search.
Get it, man.
Yeah, it's a Google search one. Here's another one. This is a Facebook ad, lookalike audience, retarget campaign, retarget campaign. I'm just mentioning through in the last week here. Google search, retarget campaign, Google search. So Google search. So we've noticed a lot of traffic picking up from our Google stuff, but we don't do any SEO. And the reason why that is exactly what you've already said. We dedicate a consistent amount of money monthly that we're comfortable with right now to consistently build traffic coming in, right, from the online stuff, which shows activity, which Google likes. And then through having it on our direct mail and having our website on there, you have direct people coming in, which Google's like, oh, wow, he's got people coming from this website, which is a high authority, YouTube videos, Facebook stuff. And then he also has people coming in directly, like typing in the URL and going directly to his website. So they must know about this company. People are viewing and seeing. I think last month we had 1,000 impressions on our Google My Business, right? So people are looking at that stuff. And so, don't be afraid if you don't have a budget. It's the scalability, but also you got to think from the perspective of the business owner, right? Money, it takes money to make, it doesn't take money to make money because you can do little things to push in the organic, but it takes money to build wealth. Right?
Dude, 100%. And there's a couple kind of nuances there too that I want to drive into people no matter where you are, if you're newer or more experienced. I'm going to start in the newer side of things right now. So one of the things that we always suggest people to do is, number one, just like with any type of marketing, but you have to do something to get people to see it. Right. So some people will launch a Carrot website and then think, shoot, just because the fact that they launched it, that they're going to all of a sudden get leads and traffic. Now, do we make it easier? Do we have people who literally launch it and then get their first lead in 2 weeks or 3 weeks and say that they didn't do anything? That does happen, but that's not something that we teach you guys. Like, you need to do something to get someone to see it. And so there's a couple different ways to get people to see your website. One of them is, once again, if you're already doing offline marketing, people will see your site no matter what, because they're going to Google search you or pull up your URL. But if you're not doing offline marketing, then you can either work for the traffic or you can pay for it, right? So working for the traffic is like what Tyler said. Go through our training. He started to do certain types of Craigslist ads or Craigslist postings, and he's working for that traffic. He's saying, I'm going to do these things with my time to create people so they can recognize and know that I can buy houses, and I'm going to send people over there. Or you can work for it over the long term with SEO, right? If you want to do the SEO work, we have great training on it. We have weekly coaching calls. You can hop on there. We'll answer your questions. You don't have to be an SEO expert. You just have to follow our advice and ask us questions when you get stuck. So you can work for it through SEO, or you can hire someone to do the SEO for you, or you can pay to accelerate all that. So if you have some funds, it accelerates the process by buying Facebook ads or buying Google ads. And so work for it to pay for it. The next thing that a lot of our clients do, like Brian Rockwell, one of our clients in Dallas, Texas, really competitive market, right? Like, a lot of people will go, shoot, how am I ever going to compete with all the other investors in my market? Because there's a million of them. Well, Dallas is one of the most busy markets in the country. And Brian was a school teacher, was looking at real estate for a long time, just kind of wasn't getting off of that hesitation bus, right? He was hesitating. And so he just started doing driving for dollars. Like, that's the way he started. Is, guys, you got to do anything you got to do to get the first deal done. Okay, if you can get the first deal done, and you can then get some marketing dollars in there. Brian drove for dollars. He wrote down addresses of houses that he didn't have the app. He didn't go pay for Deal Machine or something like that. He said, I'm just going to write down addresses that look like they're torn up properties. And he went home and he hand wrote letters to these people. And he sent out 100 and something letters. They're really, really targeted. And he got his first deal done. It was $8,000 from literally driving for dollars from his house to the school where he taught, and he drove a different neighborhood every time. He got that deal done, though. And he's like, I never want to do that again. And so, what's going on with my video, dude? You can still hear me when the video goes off, though, right?
Yeah, you can. People
Okay.
like the emoji or carrot anyway, so you're
Okay.
good.
So I'll keep talking through it, and when it goes off, I have to push the darn button for the cam to go back on. So I'll just you guys might see me pop out like that again. But with Brian, then he took the $8,000 he made in that driving for dollars, and he said, I want to do this in a scalable way now where I don't have to drive around. I don't have to build this off of my time. I can build it off of a system. So he took the 8,000 bucks, invested part of it into Google Ads, and then he invested his time into doing SEO over the long term. He ended up doing about 600,000 wholesale fees in year one, 100% online. Then he added on direct mail, and now he's a multifamily guy. He owns part of about 700 units. It was 3.5 years ago that he joined Carrot. Still does $400,000 to $500,000 a year in wholesale deals. Puts those into multifamily units now. So yeah, guys, invest time and/or money. If you have some cash, you can accelerate the process, though.
So let's use the example, because I know like you've partnered with people. I'm not saying nobody here just go spam Trevor. I'm just mentioning him as a scenario because I know he has experience in it.
Yep.
Like someone like Dylan here, it's not expensive. You just need the capital. What would you say to that objection? If someone said, well, I don't have the money to do it, besides what you just said now, putting in the effort and pushing stuff in. I mean, what is something else that somebody could do, if they wanted Facebook ads to be done and they just don't have the money for it?
Dude, it's such a good question, man. I've heard this quote years and years ago where it's not the resources you have, it's your resourcefulness, right? And so that's the first thing that I would look at, guys. We have so many clients who started with less than nothing. Like they literally, there's one guy that he was borrowing a friend's Carrot account and used his second of the third website in his advanced marketer plan. And he just like bartered something with his buddy. He's like, dude, can I just use the second of your third website credits you're not using? And so he launched it. He hustled, got his first deal done, and he ended up separating, getting his own Carrot account later. But it's resourcefulness, not the resources you have. So the first thing I would do is, if you literally don't have any money, I would go out there and try to close your first deal by JVing locally with someone, by driving for dollars, and you don't even have to get an app for that. Like, so you could just write down the addresses and hand do that. We have people that are getting deals by Craigslist still. Craigslist still works, guys. It's just some markets your stuff's going to get flagged fast and some it's not. So you have to kind of test it in your market to see. Some people are still getting deals door knocking, right? Which got harder during the pandemic, but now people are answering doors again. And so do anything you can do to get that first deal done, because we've got to get that first deal done. Once we can get the first deal done, then we start to get momentum. And once we start to get momentum, then we can start to take that money and put it back into channels to buy our time back and accelerate the process. So yeah, guys, make sure that you're looking at things from a resourcefulness side of things. Another thing that I would do if I were you guys is, there's a lot of investors out there who are already have Carrot websites that would love for someone to do their SEO for them, and that they will actually give you a cut of the deals that come from that. There's people out there that you can connect with wholesalers in your market and say, hey, if you have a deal that you just can't sell, I'd love to sell it for you, and I'm not going to charge you anything for it. I'm just going to work. I'm going to bust my butt helping you sell any of these deals. Get the first one or two done. Don't ask for any money. Just get the experience, and then maybe ask for some money on deal 3. They're going to pay you anyway. Like, a legit person's not going to say, oh man, you helped me sell this, I'm not going to give you any money, even though you said to give me none. They're going to give you that $500 or $1,000, whatever. Hustle, guys. Get that first $1,000 in, then turn it into a marketing system that can scale.
I love it. So what would you say, and I know that you do have some like diagrams and stuff in your trainings, which you guys have a ton of on your YouTube channel and everything else, but what would you say is like the ecosystem of like the online of it integrating into your business? And I can't remember the diagram that I'm specifically thinking of, but I know there's one that you have that shows that ecosystem.
Yep. Let me find it, man. I think, yeah, let me show you this. So let me share my screen really quick, guys. I'm gonna do a little bit of show and tell, a little show and tell with y'all here.
Love show and tell.
Okay, there we go. Cool. So I've got a couple slides I think will illustrate well for you the mindset around this. So at a high level, the website. So a lot of people might be looking at this going like, why do I need a website, right? Why do I even need something like Carrot? Now there's other ways you can get online. By no means do we say Carrot's the only way to do it. We just focus on performance more than anyone else. So you can get a Wix website up, Weebly's website up. You can go to any of our competitors who all pretty much copy us. If you look at our designs, we roll out a design, they literally copy the design 6 months later. So we're always 6 to 12 months ahead of everyone, helping you squeeze out more profits. So the thing isn't, can you get online easy? Anyone can get online easy. The thing is my website actually performing and making sure that I'm not losing leads and deals, because it's set up to convert. It loads insanely fast, the whole thing. So your website for us, we call it an authority hub here. And this is kind of how it fits into the overall ecosystem of your business. So if you're doing any of the offline marketing, you're doing bandit signs, direct mail, cold calling, text message marketing, radio, TV, even referrals. Like I said before, all of your offline marketing drives online demand. Okay, all of your offline marketing drives online demand. People are going to hit Google and going to search about your company, anything brand related, your phone numbers, or your competitors. So we know for a fact that even if we're only doing offline marketing, and let's say you're closing deals, you are 100% for sure losing deals because you haven't captured that online demand yet with what we call an authority hub. Number two then is, if you want to add on top of that, that's where your Google search, Google pay-per-click, Facebook ads, things like that, they all should end up driving towards your authority hub. Your website authority hub should then tell people what you do. I'll show you guys a couple examples of what you should do and should not do on a website. It should immediately get people to say, okay, yeah, they have a service that can help me, right? They have a service that can help me. And yes, it looks like they are legit. It looks like I can understand how the process works, da-da-da. And then you put them into a follow-up sequence like Tyler had mentioned. So let me show a couple examples. This is when mobile homes are starting to be a really, really big opportunity this past 2, 3, 4 years. And so this is a website that we had just launched with the client in Tennessee, and he buys mobile home parks. So I'll show that one there. And let me pull up a different one here. This one's simplysold.com. This is our website in Louisville, Kentucky. And I can show a lot of other sites too. We can show Tyler's if you guys want. So this is the picture I want you guys to picture in your minds as it relates to what a seller is going to be thinking, whether it's mobile homes or land or houses. Okay. Someone's going to land here, and the first thing that they're going to think is, does this company have a service that can help me with my current problem? Right. So if you have a mobile home and you live in Tennessee, the very first thing that pops up is, oh, I have a mobile home. I live in Tennessee. It looks like they can help me sell it. There's no fees. There's no commissions. It looks like they have a service that can help me sell my property. Okay, right here. Hey, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. It looks like they have a service that can help me sell my house, because it looks like they say that they buy houses, and it might be a simple way to do it because that's the name of their company. So that's the first checkbox. Number two, the next thing that they're going to ask in their mind is, they're going to go, so I understand they have a service that can probably help me with this house situation, this land situation, this mobile home situation, but how's the thing work? Like, how is it different than a real estate agent? Or how's it different than Zillow or the other iBuyers I keep on seeing on TV? So you need to make sure that your website then addresses the how it works objection. Well, how the heck does this work different than an agent? And so here, what Bo's done, this is what we suggest people do to really stand out if you're able to, is put some video content on there. Tell people who you are, what we do. Check it out. He talks about the types of properties he buys, why they buy properties, where they buy properties, how the process is actually going to happen. So someone goes, okay, I get it. They have a service that can help me. I understand how it works. How the heck is it different than an agent then? So now he's got a piece of content over here that tells that, right? Well, this is how selling to us is different than an agent. This is how it compares. And we have all this content already on your Carrot website. He just added the video. Once they do that, they go, okay, I get it. They have a service that can help me. I understand how it works and how it's different than an agent, but are they legit, right? Are they legit? Are they someone who I can trust? And that's where then your authority hub needs to have your testimonials, your case studies. It needs to have content on there. Now, if you're a newer investor, I'll show you guys some ways you can do the same thing if you haven't done any deals. But I'll toss over to you, Tyler, is this is how it fits into the whole ecosystem, is all of your marketing creates online demand. And then we need to make sure that this website isn't just a website, but it's your authority hub. It's the central place in your entire business where people can come and learn about you, build trust with you, and get all of their objections eliminated before they ever even reach out to you.
Dude, it's fantastic. And I love how that page is so focused on on handling. Like what I love about how the structure, it's all psychological, right? Like you're handling the objections that you're going to have. So when the leads come in, that they've already went through and scanned and looked at what's going on, and they already know what to expect from the process.
Yep.
One of the things that we're working to change in our website was even saying how our offers are created, right? Like this is how we come up with our offer. So we know even more so. And what I wanted to touch on, because you pulled up like, the mobile home side, you pulled up, a regular website, for all types of properties. Can you give some use cases on what, users are using? I know you use it for your Airbnb, I believe as well.
Yep.
And other stuff. So what are all the different types of use cases that, typically someone would start? I forget what plan gives you 3 websites, but I know that we use all 3 of them, 2 seller websites, 1 buyer.
Yep.
So what is the typical use cases that people would use it for?
Dude, for sure. Let me do another screen share if you guys are cool with that. So, dude, I've got way too many tabs open. Let me find where are we at? There we go. I couldn't find the darn StreamYard deal. All right, we're back. Okay. So let me share this, guys. So the main way that people use Carrot currently is motivated house sellers, right? So that's the majority of the leads. If we were to look at our Google Analytics, and I can even share with you guys our Google Analytics if you guys wanted me to, just literally show you what's happening, how many leads have came in the past month. Like I can show you any data you guys want to see. Proof. Yeah, dude, I'll bring it up so you guys can see it, because that'll show some of those use cases. But the first thing is motivated house sellers. Okay. So, this here, that one, there's a motivated house seller website. I mean, there's a million of them. I'm just going to try to pull up a couple here. Texas Realty Buyers. This is a motivated house seller website. They went through our concierge program because they wanted their website to still use the Carrot high performing stuff, but wanted to look a little different. Honestly, this probably isn't my preference, and it's probably not going to convert as well as something like this, but it's still going to convert pretty darn good. And everything that we build is always based on performance. This one here, this is another motivated house seller website. So this one here is Jose. He lives in Boston, and this guy has a multiple 7-figure a year business, moved everything over from a custom WordPress website to Carrot. And so you can see how immediately when you land on here, you can see it's Boston. It's got Boston pictures. It's got the big, huge call to action button. One of the things that we do here, Tyler, no matter if it's motivated house sellers, cash buyers, land, rent to own, we base everything off of data. So we're the only ones in the market that do the level of what's called split testing that we do. We send tons of traffic to client sites into our sites, and then we end up testing to see what makes it convert better. So does the button size make it convert better? Does the words that you put in on the buttons make it convert better? What form fields should we ask? What should we put on the pages to make them convert better? So that's what we take care of, is making sure that we're keeping you with the fastest websites, continue to help innovate to make them convert even better. The whole shebang. So that's a house seller one. House buyer one, like if you were to Google, let's say wholesale real estate. One sec. What is going on, man? Nope. We there?
You present?
Yeah, dude. What is going on? Sorry about this.
You're good.
1 second. Okay, cool. That was weird, dude. I need to call up Google. My Chrome keeps crashing on me, man. Okay, cool. So let's do a quick Google search, and let's do like wholesale properties in Louisville or something like that, right? So if I do this Google search here, you can see that this is a suggested search that some people are typing into Google. Google gave this suggestion right there. So wholesale real estate contract, wholesale property in Louisville. If you were to go down to the bottom, wholesale houses. So you can see these are some of the things people might be typing in that market. And so if I did this Google search, wholesale houses in Louisville, wholesale properties in Louisville, you're going to see this website here. Okay, LouisvilleWholesaleHouses.com. And that's a Carrot site. So that's Bo's website there. And this is actually how the hedge funds found him in that market. They did Google searches to find properties in Louisville. They opted into this cash buyer website, which was pretty much set up the way that you see it now. He put a video on there, and then he uses our automated content system to automate content to keep that authority for him. Then he swapped out some photos. That's pretty much it. So you can use this to build your buyers list. You can use this to post your properties for sale on here, or your contracts for sale. So this is all built into Carrot. Now you can do everything on here that you see here. Another thing that people will use it for is land. So I'm trying to think of a good land one to show here. I literally just did a podcast for land a second ago. It was earlier today with a guy named Russell. So let me find a land one really fast. So people do land sellers. Bam, I got one here. So let me pull this up really quick. So if you're looking for land is actually an amazing opportunity right now. And there's a reason that land's an amazing opportunity is on the real estate side in many markets, it's pretty darn competitive, right? There's a lot of wholesalers, lots of flippers. And so if you're kind of hitting a wall in your market for some reason on the house side of things, I would highly suggest launching a land site. And Russell actually uses Google pay-per-click and SEO to get land deals. About 40% of his deals come from SEO and PPC. 60% come from direct mail for him because that works really, really well for land. So this is a land site. This guy here does really, really well on the land side of things. Another way that people use Carrot is rent-to-own tenants. So let's say that you're looking to sell properties on owner finance or rent-to-own or lease option. We have websites for that. We have the hybrid agent investor. So if you are an investor and an agent, and you want to have a website that serves kind of both, we have that. We have real estate agent websites. It's just pure agents. And now this is kind of off book. We don't have like Airbnb templates, but I want to show you guys this really quick. This is kind of cool. So I did a Google search for this phrase here, running Y townhomes for rent. And so Running Y is a resort here in Oregon. And we bought a vacation home there in 2012 when everything was like at the floor for vacation homes. And whenever people do a Google search for that phrase to rent a townhome, ours is always booked out. It's really, really profitable. The crazy thing is when you optimize your Airbnb listing really well and you pair it with good authority from a website that links to your Airbnb listing, I've found that Airbnb will actually sometimes pay for advertising to my listing for me. So look at this, Tyler. VRBO is advertising, and they're paying for an advertisement. This here is Airbnb paying to drive to my listing, and they've been paying for a listing to drive to my listing for years. Like for 2 years, if you click this, it goes to my listing because it's optimized well. It's got a great rating. And down here organically, the actual resort is running Y. My Carrot website is right below that, ahead of kayak.com, ahead of VRBO, ahead of all that. That's actually my VRBO listing. And that's not my Airbnb listing now, but that's my VRBO listing right there. So I use it for that. I'll just click this really quick. So we keep our property pretty darn full with this really simple website and Airbnb VRBO listings. I use it for tenants for my rental property. So if you're to Google like other phrases in Klamath Falls or different markets, my Carrot website will pop up, and I get somewhere between 2 and 5 tenant leads a week, which is more than I need, but I send those to my property manager. So anything related to real estate, guys, right now we can serve you on. We primarily focus on sellers and cash buyers, though.
I love it. There's not one. Yeah, it's fantastic. Our on our real estate side, we are allies. We have an agent, platform as well that we're listing it for. So in terms of again, the principles behind one of the things I can't stress it enough really for you guys and anybody who, is going to listen to this in the future is that it always gets me when there's people who message like companies, right, that are the top of the top in their class and tell them how to do things or ask questions that are just like, dude, why are you wasting your brain energy? They've already Trevor is spending millions of dollars a year, not only building our Carrot, right, but doing all the research and all the things that are needed for you not to have to think about these things. Yeah. Right. It's tried and proven. If other people have success in something, so do you. It's not like you're going to like go to your doctor and be like, no, you're wrong. Right. It's the doctor. They went to college for it. They're verified to diagnose you. So try to, remember that when you're doing these types of things is like just the process is the process. You can mold it and use it. But the results are pretty obvious, and this Google Analytics will even drive that home.
Yes, I'm going to show this really quick, guys. And I think that the main thing here, whether you're a Carrot user or not, that the cool thing is I want to show you where the leads are coming in. Okay, because this will show you opportunity that you can really look at in your market. So this is our Google Analytics account that attaches to all of our clients' sites. And this is from pretty much the start of pandemic through today. So it's, what is that, about a year and a half, 788,000 leads. Now, that's only someone who physically went to the website and put in their information. That doesn't include any phone call leads. So you can probably take that number and add another 500,000 leads in that same time period of people who went there and just tapped the thing to call, or they picked up the phone and called. And it just really depends on your market, on the way you're doing your marketing, on how much are going to opt in versus phone call. But it's, in that case, well over 1 million leads with our clients since that time. So now what's actually working right now? So if we look at this direct bucket here, okay, so the direct bucket is pretty much anyone who literally just typed in your URL. Okay, they went straight to your domain name. Tyler actually went through some of his leads a second ago and said that one came from direct. That might be you putting it on your direct mail piece. It might be them already knowing your website and just typing it in directly. So that's where a lot of the traffic comes from, is direct, because a lot of our people do offline marketing, and Carrot makes their offline marketing work better. Now, what you see number 2 here as volume of traffic anyway is organic search. That's someone going to Google and typing up a phrase like "sell my house fast, Tampa," or "how to sell a house I inherited in Biloxi," or whatever it is. Now, look at this though, guys. Yeah, that brought the number 2 amount of traffic, but it by far is bringing the highest conversion rate of any of the marketing sources out here, because that's when someone does a Google search, they're more apt and more, they have a higher propensity to become a lead and become a customer. We ran this survey not too long ago, and this is the raw data sheet of the survey right here. And all kinds of clients filled this out and answered this question. So let me go back over here now. Some of the questions we asked them is, we said, like, how is your Carrot stuff versus your non-Carrot stuff? So lead to deal conversion rate that was reported from this survey, it was about 1.1% according to this. They said on average close from a lead into a deal with all lead sources, right? That could be direct mail, radio, TV. It could be bad lead sources, whatever it is, but only about 1%. So that's an aggregate that's pretty low. Their Carrot leads converted almost 7 times higher than that, because they're higher quality leads. It's people that are doing Google searches, or they're landing on the website that's just set up to convert better. Average value per deal. So on non-Carrot leads, their average revenue per deal was about $9,000. On the leads that came through Carrot, their average revenue per deal was $23,000. And then last, average value per lead. For every lead that they got from non-Carrot sources, the lead was worth about $100 in revenue to them. For every lead that they got at Carrot, on average, their revenue was worth about $1,800 per lead for them. And so the reason for that is because of the way the website's set up, but also number 2, the traffic sources that are coming in just convert way higher. Social, we're starting to see Facebook, even a little bit of Instagram pick up there. So that's where that's paying in there. And then paid search is all Google, Bing, things like that. So that's your 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is direct, 2 is organic search, but by far the most leads and highest conversion. And then Facebook and Google Ads next.
I love it. And I believe you just, organically ended up answering quite a few of the questions that were there. Is like, what is the average, lead needed for conversion? Literally, there you go. For me, I think our Carrot website is somewhere around like a 10-to-1 ratio or something like that when it comes to our leads to contract. And because mostly we're flipping, I don't think we have wholesaled any of the deals that came from our Carrot website. Most of them we flip just because the spreads are so much larger, and it just makes more sense. So I want to value Trevor's time, because we only have about an hour on his calendar here. Okay. And he's a very busy man. So what I'd love to do is just really quick bust through these questions really quick that we might not have to. So Dylan had said his last 4 contracts have been vacant lots. Should my website be geared towards vacant lots, or cater appropriately to lots and homes?
Dude, awesome question, man. I think it really depends on what your marketing is targeting. If you're going to really focus in on marketing towards people that likely have vacant lots, then you want to make sure your content on your website does have vacant lot content on it. And we do have, like I said, our land websites that specifically talk about bare land, vacant lots, things like that. But if it's a mix, I mean, either way, I would definitely make sure your website talks about vacant lots. If it's a motivated house seller website and you're getting vacant lot deals, but it just depends on what you're going to target. Because if you're going to target vacant lot keywords, that's a keyword like sell my bare land in Oregon, or sell farmland in Kentucky, or whatever. Those are going to be different keywords. If it's someone that's Googling sell my house fast in the city or sell a house I inherited, it's probably going to be houses and a motivated house seller website versus a land site.
Love it. Can you show lease option or creative finance templates, or do you have people doing specific lease option or like sub-2 type stuff?
We have a lot. We have a lot of it, man. I need to figure out. I know Pace Morby, as an example, a lot of you guys, he's been a Carrot customer for a long time. So that's one of the spots that he uses Carrot is actually for that, is for the lease option to get a bunch of prospects for lease option. Let me see. I don't have any pulled up here in front of me right now on the lease option side of things. But the cool thing about the lease option side of things is those leads are crazy easy to get. They're probably going to be your highest converting from visitor to lead of any type of lead that you can get, because it's a really low resistance ask. It's like literally, hey, get on the list to see properties that you can do rent to own locally. Motivated house sellers are going to have a much lower conversion rate from a visitor to a lead. You might see a 5% conversion rate from a visitor to a lead in some markets. If we're doing Google ads in a really targeted ad campaign, we might see between 10 and 20% of every seller that lands on the website to opt in. You're going to see 30 to 50% of every lease option prospect that sees a website to opt in.
Perfect. Does Carrot do your SEO, or is there people that you know that'll do it for you, or how's that work?
Yep. Awesome question. So what we always like to say here at Carrot is we do the first 60% of the SEO, which is of the on-page SEO, which is basically you need to have a really fast website and a website platform to get an edge in SEO. That's something Google's put out a lot of stuff lately, that page speed now and what they call core web vitals is a part of the SEO factors that they look at now. And our websites are the fastest in the industry by far. We put out a blog post on it with a bunch of data and studies, and our website's on average about 50% faster than custom WordPress websites in the studies we ran and a third party ran. So we take care of the tech stack. We make sure that it loads fast. When you launch a Carrot website, the structure of it's set up to rank well and convert well. And then the content is preloaded on there. And we have a couple features that will help make it SEO easier for you. Now, why do I say we take care of the first 60% of the on page for you? Because there's still some work that's got to be done to customize it. So you need to hop on there, and if SEO is important to you, go through our training and customize the content. Take that homepage and rewrite half of it with your own words, so they're different than someone else's in your market. And then last is we have really good training and weekly coaching calls that teach you how to do SEO if you want. And really, it's pretty much use our features for putting content out on the internet and then build backlinks to your website. That's it, if we were to boil it down. And we have really good services in our marketplace if you would rather hire it out. If you're like, you know what, I'm just going to pay someone to do it. We have people that do it all day long for Carrot clients that can help you with it. So 60% we take care of on the front end with the website. We don't do any off page, which is your backlinks. We teach you how to do it and show you the resources for it.
Love it. Which a VA can easily do for you.
Yep.
And then where can people find what's the best plan for them and what that'll cost them?
Yeah, dude. So if you guys were just to go to carrot.com, go to there's a plans page on there. And what I would suggest for most people is the middle plan is going to be right for most people, especially newer investors. And here's the reason why the middle plan is right. Is because number one, with the middle plan, you're going to be able to launch up to 3 websites. You're going to get 3 website credits. So you can have your motivated house seller, cash buyer, and land site if you want to, or whatever. You don't have to use all 3, but you've got 3 there if you want. But one of the reasons that middle plan is going to be right for most people is you get our weekly coaching calls. So if you have any questions, guys, and you're like, you know what, I've been doing the SEO thing on your training for 6 weeks. Am I doing it right? Hop onto a coaching call and ask us, and we'll tell you. If you launch a Google ad campaign and you want us to review it, once a month we do a Google ad campaign review, and we can review your campaigns. So that gives you weekly coaching calls. It unlocks all of our features at a base level. So you'll be able to get access to our dude. We just made a big update on our keyword ranking tracking tool.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna start seeing new data populating as of today, where we're gonna give you data on how much traffic comes through that keyword now, which URL is the one that's ranking well. We're gonna give you data on how much people are paying for Google Ads for those clicks for those keywords now. That's all new as of today. But yeah, guys, the middle plan, $99 a month is what I would suggest. Launch the site, get the coaching call access, unlocks most of our features. And then as you grow, you can always upgrade to the other plan later.
Perfect. This question, who do you recommend build a site for me? They're doing that for you. Like when you start with Carrot, like you're getting the website and then you're just going to continue to enhance it. And I know that they have a concierge program. That's what I did.
Yep.
It's well worth every single penny to have them do it. So once you get your first deal closed, just reinvest some of that revenue back into, the team at Carrot to even more refine your website that tailor to you.
Dude, let me share, put my screen up there real quick because guys, I just want to show you guys this really fast. So I'm logged into Tyler's account here. And so if he wanted to add a third website, he literally just clicks that button.
Oh,
And let's say that he wants
the third. We had an
Yeah.
Alabama one. I must have deleted it.
Yeah, it's showing the 2 in there now. But let's
That's
say we're
okay.
wanting to do a land buyer site or whatever, right? So I'd click that, and then you can add it in there. I'll delete this one later. So I'm just going to put test. But so this right here is creating the website, and it's taking our fast tech stack. It's taking all of our experience in how to create a website that's going to convert this type of prospect. It's going to create all the content, all the pages, and it's going to be insanely fast. And it's about 10 to 15 seconds. And once that's done, your website is technically up and it's ready to go. Now you would just need to go buy a domain name from GoDaddy.com or something. And so you can see this site is already here. I can log into the backend dashboard of the site now, and it's there. So I can click this. You can take a look at the site. It's in its basic format, right? It's there. All the content's here. It already has in his company name. It's got Florida baked into it because he already told us what his market is. And now he can come in here and swap out photos, edit things. You click this right here just to edit the content if you want to edit it with their drag and drop page editor. Or back here is where you can change your design, things like that. So if I'm in here and I'm like, you know what, I just want to check out one of these other designs. Let's say I'm going to do the hemlock design, which is one of our premium designs. Fewer people are using it. Bam, immediately it changed the design of it. If I want to do that, just activate and publish that bad boy. And then I can add in your logo in here, do whatever. So yeah, you don't have to hire someone to build it. We have training that can walk you through how to do it, how to customize it. Or if you're like want to be completely hands off and you really want to dial it in to make it look crazy differentiated, we've got that concierge service like Tyler mentioned.
Yeah. So what I love to do is just kind of wrap everything up so you guys have a direction, especially for those that are REISIF users, right? That are like on the fence of if they should be doing outbound marketing or inbound marketing using, Carrot as that face. Much like REISIF is really that central hub from prospect to leads and then from leads to revenue. Really, Carrot is that catalyst to funnel in even more of those prospects that you're not reaching. So you're going to take all that data that you're marketing to, right, and you're going to export it in different segments. And you're going to upload it, to Facebook, for example, as separate Facebook audiences, and you're going to be hitting them over here using like the Sensei flow, and you're also going to be hitting them on Facebook, and they're going to be pushing in the credibility that you're going to put on there through your videos on your website are going to sell them. Then they're going to go through Carrot, they're going to submit the lead in, and then boom, it's going to go right through Carrot into REISIF again so that your lead manager can get a hold of them as quickly as possible and get that thing converted into revenue, right? And thousands and thousands and thousands of people are using Carrot at both agents and investors to transform their business. And I wouldn't really trust even myself, as you know, I tried to build my own to be that component of my business, just like I wouldn't trust anybody else to manage my data. With those two tools combined, you can really build a powerhouse, in your operation and really, scale and expand and just funnel the money and put the money with where it needs to go in order to continue to grow. And you're going to be able to, like, by building in that inbound marketing, be able to step away from the company even more because there's a huge chunk of revenue coming in, from that really easy lead gen, like conversion wise, and it's just so relieving to know, like, hey, if I spend, like for me and my company, if I spend 15 to 20,000 a year on my Facebook ads, and I do all the right things on my Carrot website, I'm going to generate close to 400 grand a year in revenue. Like that's literally what I've done for the last 3 years in that just mindset. I don't stress about it. I just know I'm doing the right things. And I know I'm not wasting anything. I've literally I'll share you guys real quick. I'll show you guys an example of just how crazy this is, really quick. Cause I know, like, I apologize, Trevor.
No, you're good, man. This is awesome, buddy. I appreciate you inviting me on here, man.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
So check this out. Look, if I go to this is my Carrot, and y'all better not steal my leads, but this is my REISIF account. If I click on my filters and go to Carrot leads, I literally have its own separate, option. It's on my Carrot list. It's a lead, and click apply. Notice 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So this is data that I'm using from my REISIF account, and I'm marketing to it on Facebook, or some of them were organic from Google. If I open it up and scroll down, this was unknown equity, multifamily, and Carrot. So the information was already in the account, and they ended up submitting a Carrot lead. And so, like they're so by having that online presence, and I've been marketing to all these stacked records, right? But by having that online presence as well, I was able to capitalize on 25 more leads since I set up this integration 2 months ago. 25 more leads that I wouldn't have had, got a hold of any other way, right? Yep. And that's accounted for a couple 100,000 in revenue from those leads because, I added that online component into it to be able to hit them from that direction because who knows when I'd hit them over here. Right. And that's the powerful thing. So I just wanted to show that, just to show you guys,
that's cool, man.
It's important to understand, right? To understand that you're doing this for these other people.
I need to get you on the CarrotCast and do a live broadcast doing the same thing, back that other way. Cause like you're saying, that 1-2 punch of the really strong offline for the volume. Cause guys, it's not, you can totally do deals just offline, do deals just online. You're going to get the higher margins, the higher converting leads from the online inbound, but you get your volume from offline and outbound. If you're wanting to get into that 5, 10, 15, 20 deals a month, you either have to go outbound with online to grow the volume, or go into multiple markets. So we're being a really big market, right? We do have clients like Keith Sant. He's 100% online, does 8 to 10 deals a month in Tacoma and Seattle, 100% online. But guys, when you pair the two up together, it's that 1-2 punch that's just amazingly powerful. And the cool thing about REISIF is you'll hear people talk about direct mail. And when most people talk about direct mail, they're talking about buying a list of 5,000 people, and then you're mailing that list. But with REISIF, it helps you. It's like the best version of direct mail and text messaging and the whole thing, because you're only targeting the best, most targeted prospects on there. You match the two up, you're going to be taking less phone calls that turn into better deals with more profits, because you're only putting the people on the list that have a higher propensity to become a deal, not just anybody because they landed in a zip code.
Yeah. And I'll just show you too, under my incomplete records, because a lot of those, if you guys look at how, a Carrot website, obviously you're not getting the mailing address or anything. Oh, by the way, you guys just seen my rankings, because as soon as he said that, I wanted to look ranked one, and so on. But
so anyway, you're going to see some new data populate in the next week under the volume and CPC, dude. And then the URL now is a new thing on the right side. Yeah. But we're going to have a lot. This is our first step into a lot more data that's coming. It's going to be cool.
I love that. But if you guys look at my website, they only put the property address information in there, right? So if the address is not already in my REISIF account, I'm not going to have a mailing or profile information. So there's also 40 leads in here that are not on other lists that I had. They're just brand new leads. And this, obviously we have more Carrot leads than this in total. It's just we've closed, some and are somewhere in follow-up, but like, so you're not only going to get just, the ones of the people that are in your account, but from the organic stuff coming in and from, the Facebook ads and everything else, there's going to be people who aren't in the data because of the lookalike audiences and all that other kind of stuff, word of mouth and everything else. So,
love it.
Anyway, does anybody have any other questions they want to, ask Trevor before he, goes away from the ninjas for now?
Dude, so one
Um,
one thing, if while any questions are coming through, I saw you had the water bottle, man. I love it.
yeah, yeah,
I
I've
love
been
it.
chugging, man. I had got COVID and mono, as I told you on IG before, at the end of July,
Yep.
and since then, like I pretty much only drink water and orange juice. Basically, I don't drink any sugar or anything no more. So this thing is like
Yep.
always right there, and it makes me feel so much better.
Dude,
Uh,
it's huge. I know for me right now, yeah, our family, COVID just went through our family. 2 weeks ago, my daughter brought it home from school, and I thought I was going to hold off on it. I thought I was not going to get it. I was the last one in the family that got it. I got it about a week after everyone else.
Damn.
And I had it for about 5 days. Definitely was not fun, but dude, the energy, like I had great energy during it. And it wasn't until probably 6 or 7 days in, after all the other symptoms were gone, energy took a tank, brain fog.
Yeah.
And I've been pounding the water the last 2 to 3 days. And then I'll kind of wrap it with this is I'm like, I couldn't even think hardly on Monday. And I looked at my schedule and said, okay, I'm going to clear my Wednesday. I'm just going to focus on getting one thing done, and I'm going to walk, and I'm going to drink a lot of water and eat healthy. And that's it. One thing done at work, and then move my body and get water in. And then today is all energy. It's all content day, and I get energy. Dude, my brain fog has really started to lift today with tons of water, eating healthy, and then doing something you enjoy that gives you energy, like talking to Tyler on the Ninja Cast. So appreciate
I
the
love
invite,
it,
man.
man. 100%. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. Action steps, y'all. Get your Carrot site set up. Reach out to their team if you need any help with anything. They're fantastic customer support. Reach out to us if you guys need anything in setting up the integration through Zapier, to make sure those leads come over. I will put the YouTube video in the chat again. I think I show you guys some tips inside of Carrot in that YouTube video as well. And if you guys have not already, make sure you go subscribe to the CarrotCast. And I believe Trevor also, if you guys are interested in just understanding like high performing CEOs and stuff as well, Trevor has his own website, trevormauch.com, I believe, that has all of the podcasts he's ever been on and a lot of
Yep.
really cool information that you guys can learn more from Trevor's brain. Cool.
Yep. Yeah. Guys, go follow me there. And one cool thing too, to toss out there, little plug. We started a show, an every other week show called Behind the Deal, where we're bringing on a Carrot customer like Bo Hollis is coming on. Yeah, he's had 7-figure months, y'all. Like when I met him 5 years ago, he was just getting started. He was an insurance salesman 5 years ago. So he's having 7-figure months, but we break down one deal every 2 weeks and we go, where'd the deal come from? How did it happen? Let's walk it through. We have video from the deal, and he walks through the whole thing and shows the good and the bad. Sometimes we see the seller and talking to the seller, and then we answer questions. So go look us up on YouTube, just Carrot or Investor Carrot on YouTube. Like you said, could follow us on Facebook too, or find me on Instagram and check out Behind the Deal. We just did one today, and then we're going to be every other week.
Love it. Love it. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. Y'all, take action. That's all you really have to do. It's that simple. You just got all the knowledge and all the credibility you could ever possibly need. Just take action now and go get some deals and then share us the results. We love it.
You guys are
Thanks,
awesome.
y'all.
Thanks, man.